Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your full moon in Aquarius reading. Let's tap in and see what messages are coming through for the sign of Virgo for this full moon in the sign of Aquarius. Have faith in your dreams. So I feel like there is a phase that is happening right away. I do feel you and your loved ones are safer on the bottom of the deck. I'm seeing a lot of purple. I feel like there's a lot of downloads that you're getting. I also feel like there's a phase that's happening for you, a cycle or a part of your journey that's taking place right now. You could be like, I get the feeling of being overwhelmed with the choices, more so the fear of the unknown, like making a choice to head in a direction, and maybe thinking about every worst case scenario, what could go wrong, yada yada yada, all of that energy. I feel like this is the universe's way of saying let go, right? Full moon, release these fears, release these doubts, release these insecurities. Let's see what other messages want to come up. This is from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck. Let's see. Let's see. All right, we have two cards that want to come out, and there's Shadow Self and Sanctuary. So they really would have came out like this. I'm going to put them like this. So again, that's that shadow self. That's that energy I was feeling, the fear of the unknown, walking through a portal, stepping into something new, taking a leap of faith. I feel the fear. I do feel there is a fear, and it's in regards to your sanctuary, your peace, like there could be a fear of, am I going to fail, or am I going to be able to support myself, or whatever this is for you, right? Protection. We got two cards. You and your loved ones are safe, and then we got protection right here. So I do feel like you're being divinely supported, guided, and protected as you embark on a new path, on a new journey, enter into a new portal, right? We do have that Lionsgate portal coming up on August 8th, so that's not too far away. We do have that eclipse moon that is going to be happening, I believe, August 12th in the sign of Leo as well. Again, that portal is open for that as well. And I feel like this full moon is kicking off something for you, kicking off some. I kind of feel like it's where you need to release any residual energy that, fears, doubts, insecurities, overthinking, fear of the unknown. It gives me that sort of energy. So grab one more card and we'll start clarifying. One more card for Virgo. Shadow Self, Sanctuary. So I like to where it's leading in discernment. Wow, okay. I can't wait to clarify these. Wow. Celebration. Woo, okay. So with this discernment, I really feel, I don't know why I feel strong hermit mode. Like maybe if you're a very outspoken person, or you're quite used to sharing, what's going on or speaking to people, I kind of feel like you're not doing that right now. I kind of feel like you're being very mindful of what you're taking in. Maybe you have friends or people in your life that like to, put their 2 cents in, give you a lot of advice, do this, that, and the third thing. I feel like you are being cautious. I feel like you're doing more soul searching, shadow self, going within, seeking wisdom and answers from your higher self versus external. And I kind of feel like you could be spending a lot of time maybe just in introspection, I don't feel isolated would be an appropriate word, but I feel like you're taking some downtime for self-love, for just to hear yourself think, to cleanse and clear out any external influence or energies that might be, causing some sort of a block. At the end of the day, I see this celebration. So whatever you're doing, and then the sanctuary right there, I feel like you are doing the right thing. It feels to me like success is at the end of this cycle, part of your journey, whatever this is. Okay, let's grab some clarifying cards. Let's grab some clarifying cards. Oops. Grab some clarifying cards. Talk to us about this shadow self. Shadow self. I was going to say yeah, Six of Waters. Bottom of the deck is the patience, temperance and energy right there, major arcana card. I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you are in this process of really doing some shadow work, and I feel like it's, looking at some things most likely from the past, parts of your life, your journey, your path, where, maybe you were, I just feel, you know, I just feel crushed, right, by the way things ultimately ended up panning out in situations, but it does feel like past energy. Could have even been, some things that you're purging, that you're facing right now, that stemmed from childhood as well. But I do feel like they were things that were really crushing to your. It feels to me like the solar plexus, that, like if you were a child and you were dreaming these big dreams, and that those dreams were always quashed, or, you know you were just always crushed by negative influences around you, or, talking down to you, or making you feel a certain way, like having your spirit crushed is what I'm feeling. I kind of feel this is the energy where that's where you're healing from that energy. You're also recognizing where it stemmed from in order to bring the healing there, and not allow that energy to, like, if, as an adult, right? Like if these were things that stem from childhood, now as an adult you're looking at them through a different set of eyes, right? Through a different lens, and you're not allowing that stuff. You're not allowing that energy to, even if you have similar experiences, you're not allowing that to um, impact you. So these two cards came out together. I went to clarify one, and it came out with the Eight of Pentacles and the Temptation. So I kind of feel this is a fear. I strongly feel there's a fear that rises up every time you're working on something. And it strongly gives me the vibe it's because when you were a child, or somewhere throughout your lifetime, every time you were working on creating something, building something, focusing on something, something would crush your spirit, something would discourage you, right? And again, we're adults, so now we have, and we always have free will, right? But as an adult, you now have more power, right? I think you did as a child, but I'm not just going to fall down that rabbit hole right now. But anyhow, as an adult, you're seeing this, and now you're healing that wound, that part of you that would get excited and feel that childlike joy, and have your heart and soul invested and hopeful about a situation. And I feel like that discernment is saying, I'm no longer allowing the naysayers, the worst case scenario, the people planting seeds in my head that, may or may not ever amount to shit, right? That's how I'm feeling about it. Like, you could have lost a lot of opportunities, or sacrificed a lot of opportunities, because that fear kept coming up, the fear of being told repetitively, or, being conditioned to believe that you couldn't be successful, or that you couldn't grow something, or that what you were doing wasn't going to amount to nothing. I don't feel like you're buying that line anymore. That's how I'm feeling. So let's get some information and clarity on the sanctuary. Give us more information on the sanctuary. Give us more information on the sanctuary. Yes. You're taking your power back. Wow, King of Fire, you're taking action. You're allowing the, like, I feel like this is somebody with the sun is just shining on them. Like, with this King of Fire, that heart, I feel like the sun energy. I feel like happiness, joy, childlike creativity, childlike joy, just really immersed into building an empire, stabilizing something, finding that inner peace, getting rid of that fear, that insecurity. This is of somebody who is now in their power, has the strength. They're taking control. Look at that. Forged through the fire, climbing, ascending, rising, reaching for the stars, right? This is aligning with something. Wow. Four of Wands on the bottom of the deck. This is bringing victory, success, recognition. It's bringing something solid. And I get this energy. I really get this energy of like someone almost like being surprised at their own success level, or the the how quick they reach that success level, right? And I feel like they'll look back and they'll say, all this time it was just my fear of the unknown, or all this time it was this um, fear that, of whatever the fear was that held them back. And I just feel like I'd have done this a long time ago if I would have known it would align so easily. I do feel like there were lessons that had to be learned through that, and that lesson I feel was not to be tempted to absorb and listen to and mark it as truth other people's opinions, thoughts, or you know low vibrational, whatever it was. I feel words of wisdom, seeds planted in your head. I feel like someone's not allowing that anymore. So clarifying discernment is the Four of Water. So the Four of Water, somebody's rejecting. They're using their discernment and they're rejecting other people's thoughts, feelings, and whatever it is. Wow, truth, King of Air. They're rejecting that. They're not claiming that. They're not absorbing that. They're no longer doing all that. They've seen um, something that they can't unsee, and now using that discernment, they're saying they're changing. They're seeing this fear. When that fear rises up, they're going to face it anyways. And you can see the success coming from it. The celebration over here, the Nine of Fire, like completing that cycle and being forged from the fire and manifesting something very long term, generational wealth, stability, security, mastering something. The Emperor is about mastering their realm. I feel, their kingdom, their empire, whatever that means to you, right? Next card that comes out is the High Priestess, trusting their intuition. They're not, this is somebody who has gone through some sort of an ascension. They've looked at their shadow self. They faced some fears, doubts, insecurities. They're using that discernment and they are manifesting a celebration of peace, balance, harmony, stability. They're making choices and decisions now from a higher frequency. You see this person, well, you can't see it where it is, but this person is sitting on a giraffe, right? They're pretty high up. They're seeing things from a higher perspective. They're seeing things through a different lens. The light is illuminating the way forward. And I don't feel this person is going to be caught up in, the fear of the unknown, the fear of failure. I just don't see that. I feel like they tap in, they, use their internal strength, courage, and confidence to make a choice and a decision to walk through that portal, right? And to, even though they can't see what's on the other side, there's celebration on the other side. They're taking a chance. They're having faith. This says discover your courage, right? Yes. That's exactly the energy I'm picking up on. Discover your courage. Dragon is here as well. And to me, dragons represent protection. At the bottom of the deck is a vacation. So some of you may need to take a break, take a vacation. I feel somebody already is. I feel like somebody's really, like I felt that hermit energy, right? Remember when I was feeling that hermit energy? I feel like Hermit talks about going within. It talks about enlightenment. It talks about discovering. And I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you've discovered. You've tapped into your internal source of strength, courage, confidence, power. You recognize where there was something from your childhood or from the past that is really, got you caught up for quite a bit of, time in your life, slowing you down or holding you back, or, just leaving you hanging in limbo when it comes to taking a chance, or having the confidence in yourself or believing in yourself. I feel like you have definitely done the work on that. There's potential. Think big for your future. Yeah, I feel whoever I'm talking to as a child, you were quite the dreamer. Like you dreamed big dreams, and that's a good thing, right? I just feel like somewhere in that process, there were people walking beside you, behind you, next to you, in your ear, whatever it was, that were planting the seeds of doubt, fear, insecurity, or ridicule, whatever it may be. Look at this, bottom of the deck. Find your way to abundance. This is the card of money. So this could have been, and I'm seeing these Eight of Pentacles up there. So this could be in regards to your work. Maybe you have an out of the norm kind of idea or desire, you know what I'm saying, to manifest your money, build your empire in an unconventional way. And even as a child, I feel like you were outside the box thinker, which probably intimidated a lot of people, I'm sure, and that explains why there were all these doubts, insecurities, all this crap that was, fed to you at a young age. But I don't feel like you are sitting underneath that umbrella anymore, and I don't think you're going to accept or claim that umbrella. I feel like you are making choices and decisions from your higher self, or for your higher self, from a higher vibrational place after done discovering, where that wound initiated from. Look, self-reliance. This is beautiful. I love this. And gratitude. So I do feel like, yes, you have a big dream that is ready to manifest, that is ready to take place. During the process of all of this is where you're clearing out any residual. I feel like it's just some sort of debris that you've been carrying for a long time that are not your authentic fears, doubts, and insecurities. They are fears, doubts, and insecurities that were instilled or into you as a child, where you're now recognizing that energy from your energy. Sorry, I'm going to drink. Oh, sorry. And I feel like you're putting that to rest. You're moving forward into celebration mode. Wow. Sorry about that. I hope this message serves you well. I send you an abundance of peace, love, and light. Have a great day.